Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We have our Transfer Daily Morning Show. We're here with the brothers in the building. Man, like Durag Diaries has joined us this morning. What are you telling me?
Yeah, man. My man's good, bro. Look, happy to finally see my club, say, making moves, but no bids have been made. Seeing people get mad about all of that stuff, but at this moment in time, looks like we could be the favourites for Kudus. So big player, big move. I'm happy, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. Man, like D. What are you telling me, broski?
Share my bro, man. Just there, man. Just vibing to the intro music. I love that one.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on, man. New beats on the way, man. I need to get a new beat of Don. Don shouted me, so I just get my new beat of John, and then we're sorting, man. So big up to Don in the building. Hopefully Callum will be joining us as well later on, about 10:30. So yeah, man. Big up to the man. Them. What we saying though, like, you know what? Let's start with the Rodrygo situation, because it is an interesting situation. He got dropped again yesterday. Yeah. He didn't look too happy on the bench. I don't think he even celebrated the goal. Like, D, do you like? Is it one of them where for you, like, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not getting too excited? One of them ones where, like, it sounds very, very like opportunistic, but it's not. Like, he's not happy. You can tell he's not playing. It's not there. He's not involved. Or do you think it's one of them where it's a dream more so than a reality?
You know what? It started out, it's more like a dream signing more than anything, to be honest. But you know what? It's the extra added stuff that make it seem like, hold on a minute, can this happen? Because really and truly, it shouldn't be that much of a dream, because Arsenal's a big time club. So why is getting Rodrygo that much of a dream? Do you know what I mean? It shouldn't be a dream. We've had big players over the years. We've had some of the greats in our history. So why should it be a dream? Signing Rodrygo shouldn't be a dream for Arsenal Football Club. Do you know what I'm saying? So even when we're seeing Rodrygo on the bench, yeah, and then that adds to the transfer rumor mill, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? Because he's on the bench, he seems unhappy, he's not playing, he's not on the left. You start adding all these little things. He's not left wing. Vinicius is not playing that well. He doesn't want to play right wing. He's on the. Why is he on the bench? Why would Rodrygo? Why is he on the bench?
0 minutes. 0 minutes. You know, by
why though? Why though?
I don't know. Like, it's weird. I see Modric came on.
But he's on the bench because he's not preferred to use on, and he hasn't been since throughout his whole time on that left wing, innit? He on that right, which seems like Xabi Alonso's. We have to. I mean, look, that with all like due respect, like Xabi Alonso's just come in a month ago. He probably doesn't even know the team himself. Like, he's just trying out from what was working the past season. Keep it familiar. Don't change too much in the Club World Cup, and probably in pre-season when you're going to see him make more tactical adaptations. So I'm just looking at, like, he's just carrying on what went on for the majority of the season. That was Rodrygo on the bench, you know.
But in relation to that, him being on the bench now means that 9 times out of 10 he's going to be on the bench throughout the season. I can't see a situation where Rodrygo being on the bench throughout the whole season is going to work out in the long run for him at Real Madrid. Even if it works for 1 season, it's not going to work for 2. So I can't see Rodrygo. Even if we get Arsenal, there's gonna be other clubs in for him all over the world. Not just about Arsenal. It's about football. Rodrygo being not playing at Real Madrid. It's not about just Arsenal. If Saka wasn't playing at Arsenal, there would be rumor mills about where he's going. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not just about Arsenal. It's about Rodrygo, a big time player, not playing.
It's also the system, though, isn't it? Like, Xabi Alonso's system doesn't accommodate for like wingers per se. Like, Vinicius is more of a wide forward at the moment, playing up top, and he plays with a 3 at the back with wing backs, isn't it? And with Trent being one of their star signings this summer, I think it's clear that they're going to accommodate for Trent more than they're going to accommodate for Rodrygo, isn't it? So that's why I think's playing into it too.
That's what I was going to say. The way the new system is, man, them. Trent's almost like the winger. He's like the right winger, basically. He has so much space on that side. It's like, can Rodrygo really get involved in that side? Like, can he really? Like, I don't know. Like, you would assume like it would work comfortably. You know, Trent's on the outside. You know, Rodrygo does whatever he needs to do on the inside. Like, it can work really. But the way that the system is built, you got Arda Güler central. You know, you haven't even got any player on the right hand side. You've got the central with Jude Bellingham. You know what I mean? So they are working it out. And listen, it could be we're overreacting and we're over kind of like, I don't know, we're doing it.
Analyzing.
Right now, bro, when you play 0 minutes for the past couple of games now, that is something to really talk about. And Arsenal,
I don't think we are overanalyzing it. I don't think we are. I think when you're working out your team and you're figuring it out, you would assume one of your superstars, young boys, would be part of working it out, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like that's what you would assume. Like if when Amarim came to Man United and you're working out your team, you would assume Ahmad is going to start figuring out where Ahmad's playing and stuff. He's part of that. Rodrygo's it doesn't seem to be part of the figuring out. True. He's not even coming on. He's not. As soon as Mbappe got fit and he comes on because he's part of the team. And Rodrygo's not even playing. Yeah, he's not even coming on. He's a youngster. He's a youngster. That's one of their. You would assume one of their better players, and he's not playing. So he's clearly either irritated or he's not part of the plans. It's one or the other. But it's not about Arsenal. It's just about Rodrygo going to another club. It's not so much about Arsenal because everyone's going to be after him.
You know what I mean? It's, you go from Rodrygo to Madueke. You know what I mean?
This is you know what I was gonna get onto because D was going, they're acting like we can't get Rodrygo, like Rodrygo's too big for us. No, it's not that Rodrygo's too big for you guys in that sense, like he will turn Arsenal down, but he's too big as in Arsenal don't put up money and packages for players like that. It's very rare that you go to a big club and try to steal their player. So Madueke is definitely more your man standard. Like that is it. You go to Chelsea.
It's definitely more your standard.
Oh well, he's not because Tottenham released him from the academy because he weren't good enough. But now you're picking up these boys from Chelsea. They've had 2 seasons. They've had let's have it right. Madueke's had 2 seasons at Chelsea. He's been a squad option, and you guys are signing him. I don't know what you've
Who said we're signing him? Who said we're signing him?
Well, you're looking at signing him. You guys are looking at signing him.
Well, it's a rumor. There's lots of rumors going around.
The rumor was that you guys have got him high on your list.
No, that's not the rumor. That's not the rumor. Don't make up things. Don't make up things.
That's what Plettenberg said. He's high on your.
No. We spoke to his captain. The rumor was also that it's been shut down because he's not part of our plans as much as we thought he was. That's also the rumor.
Who said that?
What do you mean? Who said that? It got. It's twice. There's two rumors.
I'll tell you the latest. So Ben Jacobs here, who has been fairly reliable this year, he says here, not about Madueke. It's another idea on the right hand side, but no offer's been made yet on the players' side or Chelsea. Enzo Maresca still values Madueke. However, Chelsea could entertain bids of 45 million with add-ons, especially if they secure another attacker. But like I said to you, you're right though. Plettenberg did say, you know what I mean, whether he's you know the best journalist out there, but he did say, you know what, Arsenal are firmly involved in this Madueke situation. Like, there's no smoke without fire though. There is some sort of like,
but it's funny that Bandit says, oh yeah. You're heavily linked with Madueke, but when we're heavily linked with Rodrygo, he's dismissing it. We're heavily linked with Rodrygo as well, you know.
No, you was heavily linked with Rodrygo.
We still are.
No, but as you know, throughout the transfer window, certain things cool and things heat up. As the Rodrygo links have cooled down, that's when you've started to now see the links to Eze and Madueke because
they haven't cooled down.
And let's have it right. Rodrygo's going to command a package upwards of like 80-90 million. When you do the maths and you put it up in your head, Eze and Madueke will be the option as opposed to Rodrygo. So you'd be signing
as opposed to. What do you mean as opposed to?
You're not going to get Eze and Rodrygo or Eze and Madueke.
You don't read rumors very well.
I do read them very well.
No, you don't. It was that Eze is not part of the winger option.
He's not part of the winger option. That's what I just said, and you didn't listen. I said you would go for Eze and Madueke as a double, as opposed to just getting one of Rodrygo. If you sign Rodrygo, you won't go and spend 70 million on Eze. That's just not the Arsenal model. We know
it's not the Tottenham model to spend money on Kudus, but here you are.
Well, it would be if it's around 60 million pounds because Spurs have spent 60 million pounds on.
And we spent 105.
Solanke was 60 million. Richarlison was 60 million. So and that's in around our price.
Right was 105.
The thing is, though, Honestly did say though they will buy. They're trying to go and get Eze plus a left winger plus a striker. He did say that though. Even if you go and get Eze, there will be talks for a left winger and a striker. So that is kind of low-key true. Whether that left winger is whoever, you know what I mean, it remains to be seen in it, whether it's Rodrygo, whether it's whoever, you know what I mean, right now at this current minute. But like I said to you, a lot of your fan base have been in meltdown though. They are, anti Madueke. Like,
yeah.
What I mean, anti.
Everyone is, but I think it's more about the price tag as well, because they're talking about 50 million. If you were going to get Madueke for 10 million, I don't think anyone will complain that much, because you could just say, "Oh, for free." But I think it's more about the price tag and the fact that we're buying. So far, we haven't signed anyone that we actually need yet.
Yeah,
that's the problem. If we had signed Enquiries and signed a Rodrygo, for example, and signed and kept Partey and then signed Zubimendi, then we start adding the Norgards, and then we started adding the Mosqueras and the Madueke. I don't think anyone will complain, but I think it's more the fact that it feels like we're focusing on the backup, not focusing, but signing the easier options before we get to the difficult ones. We need to sign the difficult ones first and then start wheeling and dealing. I think that's more the issue, the priority and the order of the signings. If it was the other way around, I don't think anyone would care.
No, but it's like you said there, though. It's also the investment, because like if you put a significant investment like 45 million into a player like Madueke, that's taken away from investments you can make in other areas of the pitch on other players. Also, when you actually look at the quality of Madueke, like you said, if it's a 10 million pound move, then it's fine, because at 10 million pounds you don't expect a high quality level player. Like 45 to 50 million pounds, now there's an expectation on him. He has to do something, and when he does come in as the second option to Saka, you're expecting him to provide a certain quality level that I just don't think that he can provide. I'm looking at Arsenal's current options and say, how much of an improvement on Nwaneri is he? Because you're a big fan of Nwaneri. How much of an improvement on Nwaneri is he? When you actually look at the numbers and look at the performances last season, Nwaneri, for me, especially in the Champions League, he provided the depth backup that you would expect from a player to come in behind Saka. So then when you're looking at Madueke, I don't think Madueke is right now. He's more polished.
I will say, you know what I will say, guys? You have to be very careful with Nwaneri as well, because, there's a reason why he didn't really play that many games for England's under 21s. Like, even though he's very, very talented, I feel like for what Arsenal are doing right now, they can't always rely on him as much. And I'm not saying that Madueke is better than Nwaneri, but I think maybe for understanding the system, who can slot in a bit more easier and be a bit more reliable in terms of what you want in a performance, I think you're going to get a little bit more from Madueke. Not that Madueke is better than Ethan Nwaneri. I just think Ethan Nwaneri is still a young G, 17 years old, bro. Like, he's still understanding and processing the role and what he's trying to do in this team. But I think right now, that's where I'd be like, yo, let's be careful with Nwaneri. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of the hype and the, you know what I mean? And whether he's ready straight away to go in the team. Like, physically, he's
I agree with you. I think it's we're doing a bit too much on the Madueke and Nwaneri. I think, like, if you look at it player for player right now, not in terms of potential, Madueke is probably still a little bit better than Nwaneri right now.
Yeah, facts. There's no doubt about it. It's more proven. You know what you're going to get from.
I can't say Nwaneri at this point now. I can't say Nwaneri is better than Madueke on the pitch today. But as a 17-year-old starlight coming up, you would rather give the opportunity to Nwaneri, because we've got a lot more faith and a lot more belief that he can become one of the best. So that's what we would rather do. We'd rather give it to Nwaneri. But I think when Madueke is an England international, Madueke is a player that is on he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play anywhere across the front line. I just think it's the fact of the priority of when we're signing these players. I think that's what the issue is.
And it goes to like a point there of what you said, because I remember you've said before, D, how you was fuming that Arsenal didn't re-sign Partey. You said it straight up. He's our best midfielder. I don't know what Arsenal are doing that we didn't re-sign him. Why would you spend £50 million on a backup when you could have put some of that funds towards a re-sign of Partey? You know what I mean? Like, you're weak. I see it as you're weakening your team ultimately, because all the signings you've made haven't signed, apart from Zubimendi, none of the signings have necessarily improved that first 11 or improved your team. Madueke he improves the depth, but not by much. You'd have been better investing that into the wage of Partey. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking at them like you said, the way they're doing the deals, they're doing them the wrong way.
Maybe they're trying to future-proof their team. Maybe they're trying to future-proof their team. I know it sounds mad here, but they don't want to give Partey maybe a 200, 250 contract year. And then later on, say if he now is not showing the levels in next year or whatever, they've got to keep him for 1 or 2 years. You feel me? So, I mean, I don't think, they wanted to do that. They wanted to risk that, having a player just there when he isn't maybe performing or his injuries become even worse You feel me? So maybe that's the element. I don't want to say for me like it's justification because it's not. But maybe I'm just looking at that and I'm thinking in that kind of way. You feel me, bro? So you know what I'm there.
Yeah, I just think it's hard to like when we're judging it, we're judging Madueke from the fact that Arsenal, we don't want him right now. I think that's what we're doing. I don't think we're judging it based on I think we don't want to sign him for 50 million and we don't want to be linked to Madueke. That's what it comes down to. That's what the meltdown is about. It's got nothing to do with whether or not he's a good backup on the right wing, or because he would be obviously as a backup player, he would probably be one of the better backup players in the league. That's the type of backup player you would want, a young player to play on the right wing that can play in Saka's position as a backup. That's the type of backup you're looking for, isn't it? Really? But for 50 million, I'm just seeing it as, I just have a feeling that he would be in the team and playing too many games. You know what I mean? I think that's just what it comes down to. So we need to sign quality players before we start thinking about Madueke.
Yeah. Big Catch said Noni has ability, but I don't want him. Yeah, let's see what happens, guys. Nearly 1.2k in the building, 190 likes. Let's get these likes up, people, man. You know what I mean? There's hella man in here, and the ratio ain't ratioing. So please hit the like button, people. Let's talk on Gyökeres, man, because I don't know. Listen, man, these journalists are doing too much now, where they're putting information out here, and they want to be the first people to be right. This is what's happening now. This new age of journalists is like, yo, let me just put something out there to be right. And I'm like, bro, that's not what being a journalist is about. It's for you to be like, I don't know what the word is, but like, bro, like you're meant to be putting things that are true and authentic. And you have to be like, you know, like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, come on, man. But they're saying that they had a verbal agreement or whatever it is, for Gyökeres. It came out yesterday and everyone was going mad. I remember you was on the show with Dan Potts. And then, you know what I mean? But I was like, bro, like, nothing's been agreed. Nothing's happened. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's really done. But where are you like? Are you like just kind of like confused now? 1 minute Sesko, 1 minute Gyökeres, like, you know what I mean?
I personally think Arsenal are waiting for things to develop in terms of, so I feel like even with the Ezes and the wingers, they're waiting for the Rodrygos potentially, because there's a lot of conversations happening behind the scenes. The same with the Gyökeres, Sesko. You're hearing Isak might want to leave and stuff like that. You're hearing like it's all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because at some point, if Isak becomes available, I expect Arsenal to go for Isak. If Rodrygo is available, I expect Arsenal to go for Rodrygo. If that's what I think we're waiting for. But to me, I just feel like it's time to stop waiting and just get the players that you want. Gyökeres is available, go and get him. And Rodrygo is available, go and get him.
Window, man. You man, I said it to you. You man hold the keys to the transfer window. You man are like, the domino effect's gonna happen. As soon as you go in for Sesko and you get him, then someone will make a move for Gyökeres. Someone will make a use, and then all of a sudden the transfer market in terms of strikers will then start to open up. Liverpool will go for Ekitike. This will go with that one. That will, you know what I mean, bro? I feel like it's a domino effect. Right now, at this minute, Gyökeres wants Arsenal, but Arsenal also wants Sesko. It's like, bro, you can't have, like, you know what I mean, bro? Like, pick one gal, bro. You know what I mean? You ain't know who left, you know.
But I think Liverpool
this is the thing, though. Arsenal have looked like for the start of the window, we know they were looking like Rodrygo, Gyökeres. We've got the best gal in the club. You know, they're doing their thing. And now it looks like they might end up with Madueke and Sesko, and you're looking a bit funky and spooky right now because I don't know what dodgy deal has gone on. Like Arsenal, that the problem for me is the targets and quality of the targets has dropped so drastically. Like Sesko to Gyökeres, the levels are so different that I'm confused as to why it's even a conversation. Like I've watched Sesko and I've not been impressed. I've watched Gyökeres.
Yeah, but that's you. But everyone else classes Sesko as one of the highest rated strikers and potential wise. So
everyone else classes him as that just simply because Arsenal are interested. There's a lot of people that
he costs 90 odd million, 80, 90 million. That's
the value. That's what they value him at, but that's not what his true value is. If you a player that scored 13 goals in the Bundesliga's value wouldn't be 90 million pounds. He's not some high goal scorer.
But this is an opinion, isn't it? That's an opinion. My point is a lot in the Arsenal fan base are split between whether they should buy Gyökeres or whether Sesko makes more sense. There's a lot that you're saying your standards have dropped, but they haven't dropped because yesterday we were linked with Eze. That's not a standard that's dropped. And we're also linked with Gyökeres and Sesko. That's not a standard that's dropped. So you saying our standards are
Sesko is a level drop from Gyökeres. So
we were linked.
You're saying that Sesko is not because clubs are linked to him, but because clubs are linked to a player, it doesn't mean that Sesko is good. Like again,
no,
Sesko,
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we were linked with Sesko at the beginning of the window since January. We've been linked to Sesko for ages. This is not a new.
Yeah.
This is not a new.
I hear where D's coming from though. Like Sesko could be a potential to be a world beater. He's got that potential. The problem is though, can Arsenal play around with potential right now? They need some instant impact this year. You need to win the title this year, or else Arteta needs to go. You feel me? That's how serious this season is. Arsenal need to win a major trophy this year. It ain't no messing around of all potential, but like, bro, Arsenal need to do something this year. And for me, Gyökeres would be. But then again, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, as much as I think Gyökeres is a bad boy, like there ain't still no guarantee that he kills the Premier League. You know,
I think there is.
You reckon there is?
Yeah, like, I feel like
there's still a risk. There's less risk with Gyökeres than there is with Sesko. That's what it is, really. Let's be honest.
Look, but when I said this yesterday, I was on Potts' channel yesterday, and I said Prem proven, and people were laughing, telling me Prem proven is not a thing. And I'm trying to explain. I'm really confused why people think Prem proven is not a thing. Because the same reason why we're doubting Gyökeres is because he hasn't done it in the Prem, right? Yeah. That's the reason we're doubting him, isn't it? Yeah. But to me, I don't doubt Gyökeres because I feel like you're meant to do. If you're the better player in a crap league, you're supposed to show that, and I feel like that's what he's doing. I feel like he's clearly a level above that league. And I want
Watkins.
I'll take Watkins as a rotation option, 100%.
No, not rotation. As a like the option. Would you take him?
As opposed to who? And not go for Gyökeres.
Gyökeres and I
want Gyökeres.
No, but then you're being a hypocrite. Then you just said you favor the idea of Prem proven. You said,
yeah, I do favor the idea of Prem proven, but that's what I'm saying. I believe that Gyökeres will do it in the Premier League. But if we can't, if
there's no guarantee. I just like
there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. But I did want Watkins previously in January. I wanted him because I feel like he would score 20 goals at Arsenal, and that potentially could have won us the league. I think if we had Watkins in our team for the last 2-3 years, we would have won the league. That's what I believe. I believe Watkins would have.
So why did you say you'd want him as a backup or rotation option?
Because I feel like Liverpool have now gone ahead of that. I feel like they've kept Salah and Van Dijk and they've got Wirtz, and I feel like we now need another level. I feel like there's another level of striker that scores. Gyökeres he scores 60-odd goals. He's
let's say forget Gyökeres for a second. We were focusing on Sesko. So would it?
Who? I wasn't focusing on Sesko. He asked me about.
No, we were speaking about Sesko. No, I just mean we were speaking about Sesko for a second. Would you take Sesko? Sesko, would he come in as a rotational option in your right? So would you want? Because would he be your main striker? Because when you said Watkins, he's rotational option. You know, you wouldn't want him to be
now. That's now.
No, now that's on. We're focusing on now. We're not talking about January. We're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Sesko, and we're saying Sesko or Gyökeres. Gyökeres would come in to start. What would Sesko be? And that's where I say the level of quality is dropped. Because
what I want or what would actually happen?
I suppose what you want, what would happen? What would you want?
What I want in
your eyes?
My eyes, I don't want Sesko. But if Sesko did come to Arsenal, he would probably be the main striker because that's what you would spend £90 million on. That's the whole point. That's why I don't want Sesko, because I don't want him to be our main striker. If he came in as a backup option, I will take it as a rotation option. But Arteta is not going to sign 2 strikers. That's not going to happen. He's not going to sign.
No, he won't buy. That's the crazy thing about it. He won't, because you got Havertz there, anyway, and you got Jesus. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. He's not going to do it. Jesus comes back in January. Where's Havertz going to play? He's not going to sign 2 strikers. And I know if he signs Sesko, Havertz is going to play for the first 10 games. I know that. I know Sesko is going to be on the bench. If you sign Gyökeres, he has to play immediately. That's the difference. So that's what it 100%. Comes down to me. Sesko, Gyökeres has to play, and also Gyökeres scored 60-something goals. That's an abnormal amount of goals to score in a season. So I want players that do abnormal things. If you come to the Premier League, I expect you might not score 60 goals, but you might score 30. You might score 25. You might score 20. But I know you're going to score or have the potential to score a lot of goals in bundles. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I like. I want.
No, I hear it. Keep liking the video, people, man. We got 1.3K in the building. If Arsenal Bayern compete for Rodrygo, who wins? I think Bayern win, if I'm being honest with you. But it depends. You never know. You might want to join the Premier League. Stephen Allen's grandmother, big up to you, says, if Evan Ferguson's proven had potential, Brian wanted big money for him. Would you take him, D? No, I want to say he was proven, though.
That's exactly what I was. This Sesko reminds me of Evan Ferguson. That's to me who I look at this still and see. I see Evan Ferguson.
Injuries killed for Evan Ferguson.
I don't know how Ferguson's proven, though. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with Stephen Allen.
Like, what is this? Because he played in the Prem doesn't mean you're proven. Like, what is this?
You know what it is on that. There's so many new words now that are in this new transfer window. Proven, needle mover. What's all the words?
And do you know the thing is with this proven stuff as well? People act like this is always like this has been a new thing. Signing proven players from top clubs. Or top clubs signing proven players. English United used to raid Tottenham. Like I remember when you come and got Berbatov, like used to raid. Like that was just what you guys done. Fergie's whole career was, let me go sign 1 or 2 players from the other clubs in the Premier League, and we improve our team drastically. So like the proven stuff's always been around, and clubs always been around.
That's what I'm
saying. But English tax has always been a thing. People just like to create a new thing that is a problem. Or why you want proven players? I want players that in the Premier League that understand. It's like getting proven managers that already know the league. I already know that you don't have to work out everything.
That's why I wanted Thomas Frank. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted Thomas Frank.
And do you know the thing? Even with that, like I remember I was with Terry done like a research into it, and he was showing that like all the top teams in the world in their leagues, all the best teams in the league, they all succeed by signing players from their league. The majority of their players are proven from their league, and they take the best ones. So like you have to get proven players if you want to succeed, and that's what I think Arsenal are risking by going outside and getting these likes of Seskos and so on in investments, opportunistic signings that could have high potentials, rather than do what Liverpool and some of your other compatriots done, just sign some proven players, man.
Yeah, let me know all the players, by the way. Just spam some players in the chat that you believe are proven. Let me know in the chat. I want to see what everyone's kind of like.
Yeah, I want to see what their minds are. It's about time let's start criticizing the chat. Let's spit it the other way.
Let's see what the chat is actually on, man. Because bro, I want to see you look, man. Man said Nunes, get out of here, man. Nico Cruncher, he was quality. I can't lie to you.
Quality player.
Eze Cole Palmer. Yeah. Who else have you lot saying? Man said Hoyland.
He said City barely signs Prem players. I don't understand that.
Rashford, would you man say Rashford?
John Stones, Carl Walker, Grealish. How do they barely sign Prem players? I don't understand.
Yeah, Rashford is Prem proven, but he ain't gonna stay in the league. That's the problem. Yeah, Sadio Mane, Anthony. Nah, you're not
lying. That's what Arsenal should be looking at.
Let's move on.
Just when you say that, before you move on, you can get a Madueke for 45 million, or you can go get a Rashford, and you look at it and it's like
it's very mad, isn't it, bro? Why the hell is people not going in for Rashford? Like, why Madueke?
The wages, innit? The wages are killing.
The wages.
Oh man, bro, the wages hype, bro, man. Just go buy the player, man. But let's move on to Tottenham, man. Big up to Callum, who's just joined us as well, man. Big up to Callum, man. Love for joining us, man. We're just discussing man like Tottenham seriously working on Kudus. And I speak to his camp. Chelsea remain interested and are keeping a close eye on the situation with one other club. Let's see what they decide. Ray's still open. Fabrizio Romano, man. George, are you like worried? Obviously, it is Chelsea, man, and Chelsea, brother, they're offering a different sort of contract in terms of 7 years, 8 years. You know what I mean? When people see that, they get excited, bro. How are you feeling? Like, are you more like relaxed about it? What are the Tottenham sources saying?
No, I'm quite relaxed about it. I mean, Tottenham sources haven't really said anything on the deal, to be honest. I think at the moment it's like what we've seen coming out. Tottenham are working on the deal with the player side of things, but I think the issue for us was come at the sticking point of when we need to negotiate with West Ham for what the actual fee will be, because Tottenham and West Ham don't necessarily have the best relationship. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, Tottenham need to get this deal wrapped up quickly. I'd say within the next week or so, if we're serious about signing Kudus. If we let this hang on for a bit too long, we'll be in the situation of Arsenal might pick up Madueke. Chelsea have then got the funds to start moving on their right winger. I think they're just waiting to get rid of him. That's why we're seeing this Madueke news probably heat up, because Chelsea are now seeing Kudus as one of their main options for that right wing could be on his way out. So they're going to look to try and move on Madueke to open up that squad space, but also the funds to spend on that deal. I don't see this being a Willian type of signing, because obviously we know what happened there. with the hijack. I think Kudus will probably want to go to a club where he's going to be one of the first options. He seems like he probably wasn't happy at West Ham due to obviously the level of where they were at, but also he wants to be the main. They've got Jared Bowen there. They know it. Like Jared Bowen's the most loved guy there. He's the one that gets the penalties. He's the one that he runs the club over there. I feel like he probably wants to go somewhere. Manager's got his arm around his shoulder, showing him a little bit more love, a little bit more attention. Kudus seems like that type of player to me. So when I look at this, for me, it's the best option outside of Mbeumo that we could have signed for that right wing, especially when you talk about Prem proven. We say Kudus is probably a Prem proven player. He's shown his level of what he can do in the bigger games. Now, obviously, across the season, especially last year, his consistency was missing. But I'm going to hold that down to, again, he didn't really want to be at West Ham. West Ham had a horrible manager for the first 6 months in Lopetegui that, to be fair, drained their whole attack. They had some good players that just really showed no creativity in Paqueta, Somerville, and these types of players. So I think their whole attack suffered last season. So Kudus is a good signing. It'll be a very, very good signing for us. I'm more than happy with it. And I'm looking at this and like I'm excited about the proposition of Thomas Frank working with Kudus, because I think one of his biggest problems has been his ability in that final third. Sometimes the decision making, his shooting, it's not that clean. It's not that good. And to be fair, I don't feel like he gets the ball in the best positions. Whenever you see him with West Ham, he's always picking up around the halfway line, having to dribble up forward with the pitch, always picking up quite deep. Under Frank, I think what he's going to do is do what he done with Mbeumo, pick the ball up in those half spaces, make sure you're in the right areas, and just be clinical and shoot sometimes. And I think he can really transform the goal and the goals and assist side to Kudus' game.
Yeah, you know what? I like Kudus, man. And listen, the problem is he had a bad year last year. I think he was very, very bad. I watched his game. He didn't look interested. Whether that was a manager at the time, Lopetegui, he didn't really get the best out of him. And I mean, he should be getting more numbers. He should be getting more involved in the game. But there was a couple of games last year that I thought, wow, Arsenal away, and there was a Chelsea game where they got battered 5-0, I think it was here. But this guy, the ball carrying and the way he was just so brilliant in that game, his own individual performance, like he should be doing better for what he is. I feel like he needs to be showing more in his game, bro, because he can raise the level so much higher. But maybe in a better club where there's better players around him, you know what I mean? Like, he should do better, really. Let's be honest, man. But do I think he suits Tottenham more than a Chelsea? Yes. Do I believe he'll end up at Chelsea? Probably, yeah, because I just don't. I really, really like. I haven't seen Tottenham make this sort of signing in a long. This one is almost like a player that will instantly make a big impact at Tottenham, and I haven't really seen that sort of signing for Tottenham in a long while. Maybe Madison was the last one. You know what I mean? Yeah, you've signed what's the other player called? Dominic Solanke, but I haven't really seen a big improvement from him in your team. But like, this one would be one of them where, yo, Kudus at Tottenham, yeah? Say less. This is a statement signing. You feel me, man? Like that would be it. What do you reckon, Callum? Like, Kudus, where do you reckon he should go?
I rate Kudus. In terms of where he should go, George, again, no disrespect here, I think Kudus is a player who could play for pretty much any team in the Premier League when he's on form. Yeah. As you guys have all mentioned, his inconsistencies last season, but again, you look at Kudus in his first year at West Ham, it was night and day, and I think that was a motivated Kudus, a Kudus that had a structure around him and a good team. Again, George, I agree. You'd have him play how Mbeumo plays. You'd have him picking up balls in the half spaces and just driving and attacking. I remember we played West Ham at their place. I think we beat them 5-0. But even in that game, he hit the post twice. He was running our defenders and committing players. He's a very good player on his day. I just think he needs to be surrounded by better players. Chelsea's always a difficult one because they're offering these death row contracts. So it seems like players are kind of prioritizing that over footballing stuff because they've got about 62 wingers, but wingers are still going to Chelsea. So they must be doing something behind the scenes that's enticing these players. But if I am Kudus and say Liverpool don't come in for me or Man City, then me from a playing perspective, I'd probably go to Tottenham more than Chelsea because they seem to have a real scattergun approach at Chelsea and there doesn't seem to be a lot of cohesion and a lot of thought process. It's just going after the next best player or the player who's the flavour of the month, it seems. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know how much he's going to cost as well, whether Tottenham are going to use those funds, and that's going to be the big signing of the summer for them, because they've got quite a lot to do. But I'll be interested to see where he goes. But Kudus is a great player on his day.
Yeah,
I've heard that the rumors have been they're willing to accept a fee of around £60 million. So that I think for us that's the sweet spot, and it's a good price point for where we'd be willing to pay. And especially when you say, look at Mbomo, we would have went in for Mbomo if he wanted to come Tottenham. So I think we're probably going to use the money we would have allocated to that deal to this Kudus deal, and you can't go wrong for it.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what Chelsea are on, you know. I don't know, man. Chelsea are just, for me, like, it's an interesting club because that man still have to forward, you know. Like, and they get what they want, man. As much as we say, you know, them man are relentless, bro, and they're just there, bro. So whatever you want, man, they want. You know what I mean? They just, they're scouting around. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like if they sell Nkunku and if they sell Madueke, that's where the issue's gonna lie.
Yeah, but that's a problem though, because they just signed these guys.
Yeah.
Like, they've literally just signed both of these. They've literally just signed both of these players. Like, I don't understand how all of a sudden we're seeing it as they're going to be a problem. They'll be a problem when they're signing players and they want to sell. Jackson they bought him a couple of years ago. Madueke they just bought. Nkunku they bought. Mudryk they bought. All these guys are going. How are we calling this?
Fair, no, they bought Madueke 3 years ago. They bought Nkunku 2 years ago. Actually, they signed him maybe 3 years ago. Then they loaned him out, remember? So they have been there for 2-3 years. Like that is, but then again, this is what you
but these are young players though. All of them are young, bro. These are youngsters that they're meant to be. You're meant to be like not nurturing.
Okay, let me ask you a question though. Martinelli, if you were serious here, you would have got rid of Martinelli a couple of years ago because he ain't really done anything really in an Arsenal shirt. He hasn't kicked on, has he? Let's be honest, bro. Like this is what I'm saying. Like sometimes you got to cut your kind of cost and realize this guy ain't good enough. Sorry.
Cut your losses short, man. I feel like Chelsea did that. I think Chelsea are the best selling club in the Premier League. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like they get rid of like, and that's the thing. I feel like we praise. I think that's the thing. We do a lot of the time. We praise them for selling players and being able to get rid of players a lot of the times. But then we bash them when they bring in a lot of players at the same time because they have such a high turnover. And it's one of those ones where you're going to get a bit of both. Like some of the times when they're moving players on, like Nkunku and Felix, I think it's good. I think that it's good that they haven't wasted time trying to keep these players because they've not been good. And they're shown they're probably going to be failures. But at the same time, you got players like Madueke, who I'm not a big fan of Madueke, but he is only 23 years of age. He's had 2 seasons there. It's not like he's been there for bare long and he's had bare chances. He could probably be a player that improves and that you work with, but they're not willing to work with players. Any players right now, so they'll move them on. And it's like every player has a 24-month contract to prove yourself or you get moved on. Yeah. And even like Drewsbury Hall, he signed last year. I can't see Drewsbury Hall's probably going to move on this summer. And it's just strange. It's just like...
Is that a good thing to you, lot? I'm confused. Because you lot sound like...
Pros and cons. Pros and cons. I think we're probably guilty as Liverpool and Arsenal fans of hanging on to players for too long. Like Nunes, for me personally, Nunes should have been sold up after the second season. We still got him and we're still and iron about selling him. Liverpool and Arsenal are notorious for hanging on to players for too long, especially under Klopp for us and you guys just in general. So I think it goes both ways. I think Chelsea may get rid of players a bit too soon. But it's probably sometimes better to get rid of players a bit too soon than it is to get rid of players too late. And we have been guilty of that as Liverpool and Arsenal. Man United, example, still got Luke Shaw and players like that. They should be nowhere near some of these top clubs. Bro. But yet they still are. Like Martinelli shouldn't be a start for Arsenal. Martinelli should be fighting for his life for Arsenal, for example. Nunes should have been gone. So Chelsea. I think the thing with Chelsea is the fact they've spent so much money, but they still almost have this underdog tag. Like for me, a team that's spent close to the amount of money they've spent, I shouldn't be seeing celebrations on the last day of the season that you qualify for Champions League. Like that for me should represent a bad season for Chelsea with the amount of money that's been spent. Yes. And like the amount of money they're spending now, if they get certain players, they should really be sitting there going, no, we should be challenging and winning this league. But it's still the one we solidified top 5. And no, you're spending a lot of money. If you say there's a structure there and there's a scouting process, then how long is it going to take until you put your chest out and go, yeah, we're going to win this?
Facts. This is what I'm trying to say, bro. We look at us, bro. We're struggling to get rid of Rashford, Anthony, Sancho still at the football club. Let's be honest. And Garnacho. This is someone out to sell him. We've got to do it, and this is what other clubs don't do. And Chelsea, they do it well. As soon as they see, this ain't it, move on. Koulibaly, listen, I think Koulibaly right now. Look at him. He's looking like he's revolutionized at Al Hilal, bro. This guy was cold for Al Hilal this tournament, but look at him straight away. Gone. See you later, bro. You know what I mean, bro? And these are sort of players that we would have hoarded at our football clubs. You've got to be quick. You've got to be ruthless. You know what I mean, bro? What's this here, man, about Eze?
Fabrizio. I feel like
yeah, it's not really an update, man. This guy, I swear that sometimes, bro, like, come on, bro, just give us better updates.
Nah,
man.
he annoys me. I'm due to turn off his notifications because he just
bro,
says the same
off,
thing.
Bro. It's the best thing you'll do, man.
I've got a feeling he writes in ChatGPT, write this for me in a more intriguing way. And that's what he does. He just does new formats every time, just refreshing, man.
Remember, they're getting paid every time they tweet, in it. So it's gonna happen.
Yeah, bro. But when I see the link, I was like, yeah, he's just telling you to go to his link, really.
Yeah.
Direct talks revealed on Monday. Emirates Edge has opened the door for Arsenal moving in a clear way. He's open to join Arsenal project and attracted by his chance for his future. Arsenal informed on the release clause details and more. It is interesting though that he is he's interested in move though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he would stay at Crystal Palace though. I really thought Europa League. You've earned the right to go play Europa League. Would you want to do it? But you know what? You don't get this sort of move again at 27. You got to move, man. You got to move. Like you don't
get to stay in London as well. That's a key factor.
Yeah, it's London as well. Yeah, bro.
You'll have to uproot your whole life and stuff like that. So it's a big deal. I mean, I even think that, to be fair, Eze, even if Tottenham were going for him and he would have opportunity and Arsenal weren't, I think he would probably still maybe try and go Tottenham as well, because that's a step up for Crystal Palace anyway. So yeah, I don't see how Eze is a top player. I feel like he'll wait until he gets a chance to see if Arsenal are option for him. That's what he'll do. It's better to wait it out because he's going to get a top team at some point. If it's not this year, it'll be next year.
I don't think he'll get one next year. That's the thing. I've got a feeling with a lot of teams have been hesitant to move on Eze probably because of his age already. I feel like because he's coming up 27, 28. So if you sign him next season, he's not going to get as big of a contract as many people think, because you're not going to sign a player who's at the end of his deal is going to be 32, earning 200. Like Arsenal made that mistake before. So I look at it and I'm like, Eze has to move this year or next year. He can move, but I think he's going to suffer from the Zaha thing where clubs aren't going to move him because he's a bit too old now. And it's like clubs don't sign 28-year-olds. They don't. It's just you go for the 24-year-old who's got a little bit more potential. So I think he has to make this move. And if Arsenal do come in, if I was him, I'd start making it very clear he wants that move to Arsenal and start pushing for it.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe.
Guys, 1.6K in the building. We have 412 likes, guys. This is not great at all, people. If you don't know where the like is, guys, I'm going to show you right now. The like button is right here, people. Just hit the like button. Let's get it up to at least 700 likes now. The target has changed. We've got more people in the building. Let's get it up to at least 700 by the end of the show. So please do a favor. Hit the like, but make sure you subscribe to Durag Diaries, Team Coppish, and also Fam Zone TV, people. We got some news on Luis Diaz. Liverpool have rejected approach from Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz after a call made by director Max Erbel. Liverpool insists on keeping Luis Diaz with no plans to negotiate. Bayern have been informed. There's still no agreement close over a new deal for Luis Diaz at LFC. Listen, people talk about Bayern Munich. No, not Bayern Munich. People talk about teams being rejected. Yeah, but Bayern Munich get rejected a lot. Have you not noticed, man? They do get rejected a lot. Man. Them I know. Listen,
the last 2 years, especially, man.
Hey,
the last 2 years, especially.
Yeah, last 2 years they've been rejection FC, man. But you know what though, man? I really don't think Liverpool should be selling Luis Diaz. I know. Listen, he went off the boil. He started off on fire and then he went off the boil, innit? But bro, he's still devastating in the Premier League. When you deep in it, he'll get you at least 10 to 15 goals. He will be impactful. He's caused us massive problems. In games and whatnot. Big 6 games as well. He's been there, crucial. But I still believe Like, even though you could get better, but if there's no agreement to get a left winger or go and improve in that position, there's no point just selling because you're gonna get yourself weaker. Let's be honest.
It's the wages, though, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
it.
He's on really low wages. He's on like 50 grand or something like that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's a really tricky one with Diaz because I don't think he's a player that is impossible to upgrade on. But in terms of his versatility and what he offers the squad, I think it's worth his weight in gold. And obviously, we're gonna hopefully buy a striker this summer. I would keep Diaz with the fact of you can't rely on Jota to be fit for the season. So if Jota's your backup striker, for me, that would worry me because if anything happens to the main striker, you basically got nothing behind him. If Diaz stays, he covers the left wing, he covers centre forward, he covers right wing. The only problem is if we are keeping him, then there has to be some negotiation regarding the contract, because for how pivotal and how important he was for us last season, I do think he should be rewarded for that. Even if you don't extend his contract, at least up the money he's getting, because just on a human level, we have to be showing that we're rewarding players for doing good things, because it not just only impacts him, it impacts potential players signing, it impacts other players in the dressing room who think, well, he's on that amount, but he's doing all of this. What happens if I do all of this? Am I going to get rewarded? I think it could have a knock-on effect. So I hope he stays. I hope he gets a new contract or a new deal. And then I hope we still add to the squad. If he does go, though... How
many is he that left of his deal? Sorry, Callum.
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. You
know what? I wouldn't even give him a new contract, you know.
Yeah, I think we could. Even if we just gave him a 1-year extension but upped his money or something.
Oh, yeah. Then he could get money out of him.
Yeah. I think he does. I think he deserves to be rewarded for that at least. Last season, he was our second best attacker. Salah was our best by a landslide. He was second best, and then Gakpo was the third best, and then the other lot were just barely about in it. So I would keep Luis Diaz. But if we are going to sell him, it means we need a left winger, which we don't necessarily need right now, or we need 2 strikers. So it depends on what Liverpool. It depends on how much money we bring in for him as well.
Yeah, it's one of them where Liverpool's forward line right now is what? Jota, Salah. But it's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Nunes will
literally the same. Yeah,
we'll look to leave.
Yeah, we need Nunes on.
Yeah. What is the situation then with your attack now? Obviously, Isak's always the news.
It's Isak. It's Isak.
Is that it? Basically, Isak. That's it. No one else.
So again, people are going to say I'm really harsh or being whatever, but me personally, I would move on Chiesa because the manager just doesn't seem to rate him.
Yeah,
I'd move on Jota and Nunes, and I'd keep the rest. So that would mean we'd have to get a right winger, a striker, and a left winger. I don't see us doing that in this window, but minimum, we need a striker. Have to get a striker. If we get Isak, it's a wrap for me, in my opinion.
Wow. That's For me, this is the thing, though, man. It's one of them where it's like Isak. It sounds like there's something gonna materialize, but Newcastle, they've got a really interesting thing, right? They've been rejected for a lot of things right now, mainly because people don't want to go to Newcastle or whatever it is, but they're not be able to maybe pay for them funds. If they sell Isak, they are able to fund a lot of moves, but they can't lose Isak as well. Buying 3 players sometimes doesn't equate to the loss of or the player of Isak. It doesn't really. Let's be honest. We've seen that with Gareth Bale. Like when Gareth Bale left, they bought 10 players. It weren't Gareth Bale. You know what I mean? Like Gareth Bale was better than all of them. Maybe Eriksen, the one exception. Yeah,
that's true. Though, but when Liverpool sold Coutinho, it took us to another level.
It did.
So I don't
think that'll be the case for Newcastle, man.
It won't be a case for Newcastle. That's the problem. It won't be.
What are you doing, bro?
I know what you're trying to do. Yeah,
I know you're trying to make sales and purchases here, bro. I
don't think he's going, man.
Bro, what? You lot just on a sabotage mission this morning?
No, I don't think Isak's guy, man. I think Newcastle. I think everyone needs to be careful in Newcastle, because if this is the first time that they're allowed to buy properly. If they buy and carry on, they'll be challenging for the title. So
I don't think they can without a big sell. I don't think they've got.
No, I think they can. I think they were just waiting for the July 1st, so the new PSR year kicked in, and now they're available to spend, because we've seen them put bids in for the likes of Alanga They've gone for Trafford. I heard they're in for Xavi Simons, but he's rejected them. I think that's what the problem ultimately is a lot of big players don't want to go Newcastle, whether it's the lifestyle in Newcastle, whether it's they just don't want to be at the club like Newcastle because they're not a stable Premier League top 4 side. Just a lot of teams and a lot of players don't look at Newcastle as the go-to transfer in England. So when Newcastle come up as an option, I suppose they wait around to see if there's other Premier League clubs coming in before they choose a Newcastle. Even Nottingham Forest are starting to see that. They've got European football right now. But when they make a lot of calls to these players from Juventus, see they're going in for Fofana from Lyon, players are just turning them down because it's just like, yeah, you're in Europe 1 year, but that doesn't mean that you're going to be here for a long time. You're just here for the short time, and a lot of players are looking for the sustained future in it. So I just see Newcastle, they're going to have this problem for the first 4 or 5 years of where they're at right now. If they start to maintain this, then they can start to sign proper players. But it's going to be very rare for them to pick up top proven players from Europe.
I don't think it will, man. I don't think it will, man. I think it's going to be a lot easier than you think. Why
haven't they done it? Why haven't they done it if it's been easy?
But they have been doing it.
No, they haven't. Go look at the signings. They haven't been.
No, but I'm saying they're buying the players that everyone knows. All of their players have been nine times out of 10 have been hits. They signed Tonali. I do agree.
Yeah,
they got Isaac that everyone was stalling on. They got Anthony Gordon that everyone was doubting. Botman.
But they should be doing more though. They should be doing more. For when you look at what they've been trying to do for the past couple of years now, they need to act like they're a top 4 or 5 club now, and they're not acting like one. They're not. They still got players like Longstaff in their team, bro. They're in the Champions League now. You cannot be entering the season with Longstaff in midfield, bro. And their backups are not great. Look at their bench last year. Their bench has been embarrassing.
They got Lewis Miley as well. They got Longstaff. They got Lewis Miley.
Yeah, come on, bro, man. That's a kid, man. This is a kid, bro. You know what I mean, bro? Look what we're doing here, man. They haven't got a bench.
Lewis Miley's better than our backups.
What is he?
And
Longstaff and Lewis Miley are better than our.
He's not better than your backups.
Jorginho and all that. He's better.
Lewis Miley and Jorginho, man. Come on, man. Relax, man. Lewis Miley is a kid, bro. He's a kid.
He's not better than Jorginho as a football player. But what I'm saying is, they've got players in their team that their squad is good. Their squad is not bad. They ain't got a bad squad.
They haven't. No, it's not a great squad, man. It's not a great squad. I'll be honest with you. It's a great 11. Great 11, but it's not a great squad.
The first 11's brilliant.
I disagree, man.
Let me bring you their squad.
They're backup right back. Their backup right backs are they got Livramento and Trippier.
No, they're starting right backs.
Yeah, but Livramento and Trippier, they're both right backs.
Trippier's not good anymore.
Trippier's not good anymore, man. Okay, I'm going to bring you their squad, yeah. Okay, yeah. Trippier. Sven Botman is always injured, by the way. Maybe a shark.
Oh, so now he's not a good player now.
No, he's good, but he's always injured, bro. Always injured.
It's like Van der Ven, isn't it? He's very similar. Yeah. He's always injured.
Maybe Shaw, I think he's good. The Cells, all right. Good. Tonali, very good. Callum Wilson's
even then again, Joelinton's good right now. When they're playing Champions League, he's not good enough. Yeah. He's not the 10 that you need. You need someone that's
bro, I'm being serious with you. Let me read them off. Tonali's very good. He can probably start for most big clubs.
Yeah. Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joelinton. That's one of the hardest midfields to play.
Yeah, it is. But where's the backup when they're injured?
Playing in the Premier League, going in Europe and doing that's very different. I don't think that midfield's not going to work the same in Europe.
Yeah. Gordon, good.
Barnes,
decent backup option. Target, come on, dead. Isak, good. Kraft, come on, dead. Asulo never really played. This keeper, I don't know. This guy, good. Blue Soul, good. Livramento, good. Hope they're going to improve now on James Trafford. Murphy, underrated, but they need to improve.
Murphy's good. I like Murphy.
Yeah, he's underrated. Joe Willock, I'm sorry, not been good enough. Dan Burn, I think underrated.
Yeah, but you could do this with anyone's team. You could do this with anyone's.
No, but if you're Newcastle and you're in the Champions League,
look at this.
Remember, it's Saturday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Wednesday usually.
Yeah.
But they can't run the same 11. Remember the season where they didn't get Champions League because they were in Champions League and they struggled.
Yeah, I agree with that. But what I'm saying,
teams around remember Chelsea were the closest team to them last season, right? Chelsea have strengthened already, so they've widened the gap. Arsenal have widened the gap. Liverpool widened the gap. City have widened the gap. So you're looking at them thinking, right, if there's not a fifth spot, Are they going to break that top 4?
Oh, is Tottenham squad better than Newcastle squad?
Yes.
Tottenham squad is better than Newcastle squad. No,
they've got higher quality players in
They've
certain
got higher
positions.
quality level, but the squad, yes. It might not show it, but their squad has underperformed when you look at it.
How is their squad better than? Well, they've got Davies. They've got Davies. And,
no. I think their backups are better. Their backups are better. Yes, they are.
No, they're not, man.
Come on, bro. What are you talking about? Seriously,
come on, man.
Listen, they haven't shown it. They haven't shown it to me because they've been 15th, yeah. But their backups are better than what you've seen from Figgy.
Tottenham's backup?
The managers have been the difference. The only thing is, the managers have been the difference. This is why Eddie Howe deserves so much praise. He's been able to hold on a minute. He's been able to manage that squad and work on a budget. Yeah, I swear down, he deserves extra praise, bro. The thing is with Ange, he hasn't shown that he's capable of managing the squad. Hence why they've been where they are.
But why didn't you put Tottenham squad up like you did with Newcastle's?
We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
Why don't you do that?
We don't need to do that. We don't. We can, but we don't need to.
Okay.
For Dragusin and all. Look at
all right, these players you're talking. You'd compare. That's a backup. Danso and Dragusin are both backups. They're better than the centre back backups.
They're better than their centre back pairs that they did.
What?
The backup sales of them. Jamal Lascelles, he's better than Jamal Lascelles.
How about Dan Burn? Dan Burn's
not backup. First team.
Bro, hold on. Wait. Slow down. You got Botman, Shaw. Which one? Because only 2 of them can play.
Okay, Romero and Van de Ven are 2.
Yeah. So now we're going to backup, which is Dan Burn.
Dan Burn starts, bro.
Dan Burn finished the season left back because Lewis Hall got injured.
Yeah, Lewis Hall got injured.
No, but then he does play centre back if he's not played left back. He's been the starter for them.
That's because Botman's injured, though.
That's what I mean. He's always a starter, though. Dan Burn's always fit.
So which person do you want to be the backup? Pick one out of the 3. Pick one.
It's Fabian Shaw and Jamal Lascelles. They're the backup.
So Fabian Shaw is better than both of your centre backs.
No, he's not.
No, these 2 here, but not the.
I don't think he's better than Danso. I don't think so.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go through them. Yeah, Son is there. Basuma, Richarlison. He's better option than
none of these. These are not bench players. Son and Basuma are not bench players.
Okay, Tell's a bench player. Is Tell better option than what they've got?
This team is what Archie Gray,
Bergvall.
Archie Gray and Bergvall are young players. You're just doing anything right now.
What do you mean? Young-Min Suk,
Brennan Johnson. Ken
Spencer,
you know what I mean? Albert.
You know Solomon?
Yeah, but he's been on loan at Leeds, actually. He's been on loan at Leeds.
I'm not talking to you.
He's been on loan at Leeds. You're talking about
Tottenham. How many times have you seen Solomon play, Saeed? How many times have you seen Solomon play?
He's been on loan at Leeds.
Okay.
Keep going down. Don't stop, because you didn't stop at Newcastle. Keep going. Keep going, bro. How many times you've seen
all of these players are these are academy players.
1 second, man.
These are all academy players. No, D, because you're trying to do your agenda thing. That's not working. I don't care whether you're talking to me. We're on the stream, so we're talking.
You put up the Newcastle team. You see what he's doing? He's backing his team. You're backing your team. Yeah, you keep backing your team.
These are all academy players. They don't play for Tottenham.
We didn't say that for Newcastle, did we? We didn't say that for Newcastle, did we?
They're in their squad. They're not even in the squad. This is not a 25-man squad. This is
let's talk about human. Let's talk about your. Let's go down.
You want to talk about players that you've never seen in the Tottenham shirt. That's what you want to do.
And Veliz. Let's talk about Veliz.
A player again who's been on loan, getting sold.
Newcastle squad is better than Tottenham squad.
They didn't improve the players that they've got out on loan. So
listen to me. I'm just letting you know that they've got better options off the bench, and Newcastle have shown when they drop off say for example they lose Isak Callum Wilson has barely been available to be there. Gordon has had to play up front. That's why I'm letting you know that Newcastle need to upgrade. The point was Newcastle need to upgrade their squad and need better backups. That's the main thing.
I agree with that.
It's not about comparing. I'm just letting you know that they need
but I was comparing because I was saying that
every season,
is better than you think.
Yeah. But if you look at every year that they've been in the Champions League, look where they finished. They finished 6th last year. This year they can't do the same thing again. They cannot allow themselves to finish in outside the top 6, bro. They had a
Who you talking about? Newcastle.
When they went to the Champions League that year, they struggled in the league. He couldn't cope with both of the demands, bro. FA Cup, Carabao, and you got to remember when they played. I think it was the old format as well. They're playing the new format with 8 games now.
Yeah,
8 games. So they need to be on it, bro. That's all I'm gonna say in that regards.
Yeah.
Man United. Let's talk quickly on Man United, bro. Yeah, man, we're still waiting on our 3rd bid for Mbumo. We have been linked with Watkins as well. You know what I mean?
D-side coach.
Hey,
They're laughing at Man United.
what's he laughing at? What's he laughing at?
D's horrible when he wants to be, you know.
Oh, he's moving mad right now. I can't lie. But yeah, bro. Are you man surprised by how slow United have been, or is it one of them where we have to negotiate and it's a case of because right now we've known about Mbumo for the past month and still we're not hearing no agreement being reached. Like I'm literally waiting every single day, bro, and it's getting a bit mad. And they said Ben Jacobs said medical this week booked in. So if you don't get this right, listen, Ben Jacobs, for all you've done well, yeah, your kind of almost rep is gone now because you have said medical this week. And we're on Wednesday now. Halfway through the week nearly.
Well, Saeed, I'll ask you. Is it a case of players are looking at Man United thinking, do I want to be in that situation right now?
No, and people wants to come to Man United. That's the thing, though. Like they want to come to
Burma, though. Other players.
You know what it is, bro? Yeah, I think a lot of it has to come down to sales, isn't it? That's what the situation is right now. After now we get Mbumo. A lot of it has to come in for sales, innit? And what we're hearing is, maybe swaps with Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic. We're looking at maybe potentially Ollie Watkins as well. So yeah, like that's mainly what the situation, the scenario is. People can say, yeah, it's July, it's only started, whatnot, but really and truly, bro, let's be honest, bro. Next Monday, everyone comes back in. You don't want to be seeing them that finish 15th with you, man. The same guys in the. Imagine you only see Konya and you finish 15th, bro. Like that ain't good mentally, bro. For the players, for the manager to be coming in and saying, "Rah, still got the same dross here. Man, are not even left. What's going on here, bro?"
Depends who he wants, though. Depends who he wants, though.
Yeah, of course it depends.
A lot of them he's going to be saying to keep, isn't he? He's going to want a lot of those players still. He's not going to want to get rid of Fernandez. He's not going to want to get rid of Ahmad. He's not going to want to get rid of what's your left back's name? That new guy, the crazy one. What's his name? Dorgu. He's not going to There's players that he's going to want to keep, though, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So that's more. When's Martinez come back?
Martinez won't be back till at least January, maybe. He's serious.
That's the thing, though.
Is he in your plans? Is he in for you personally? Is he in your plans?
I still think for me he can provide something in the squad. He can still play. You know what I mean? He can still do something in terms of like playing out from the back. Like him and Lenny Euro are probably the best at doing.
So what is so for you personally? What is like your ideal back line?
For me, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think our back line is not really a problem, man. I'll be real with you. Like we've got Ahmad right wing back, Mazraoui, Delit, and Lenny Euro, and then we got Dorgu. Like I'm not really fussed. The keeper needs to go.
Okay. So no Heaven.
Heaven will be backup. Heaven will be a very, very good backup.
Okay.
Guy will be there. You know what I mean? But for me, it's the keeper, bro. Get rid of this absolute fraud.
But don't you think you still need? Because when I'm looking at that back line, I see Mazraoui, who not a centre back, and I know he's been playing right.
We can play right side centre back though.
I still don't think that he's at the required level where you guys want to be. So for
who are you talking about?
Mazraoui.
Mazraoui
is good. Mazraoui is good, man.
I like him, but for 12 million.
And I look at Lenny Euro. I don't know if Lenny Euro again, like as a starter, he can be reliable.
Lenny Euro, I have got no issues. Lenny Euro was the best player for United in that final. He was the one that was driving with the ball, driving into space. I know it's
best player in the game that you lost. I don't know about that. Cal. You see, Cal, we don't understand these things because I don't talk about finals.
You're being disingenuous, Jules, man. You're being disingenuous, man.
I'm disingeneous. He was our best player in the final.
There was no difference between the two teams in the final, bro.
They lost.
There was no difference between the two teams in the final, though.
There was one team won, the other lost.
It's not like, man. There's a winner and there's a loser. Chelsea fans in the chat talk, bro. Lenny Euro was cooking the final. He didn't deserve to lose it. He was the only one that was actually trying to get the ball and play it out. So for me, Lenny Yoro's a starter for me. Like we've got a very, very good start. For me, it's not really the back line. I know we could see a lot of goals last year, 55 or whatever. But bro, like we need to get rid of the keeper. Keeper, yeah, 55 goals in Premier League, I think it was.
Oh, just in the Prem. That's
yeah, Premier League. Yeah.
You're like, crazy. Well, you got to remember, Cal. Tottenham finished below them.
Yeah. You got
to remember that.
Fair, when you look at that let me hold on a minute. By the way, what's this Premier League website? By the way, why has it changed? By the way, what the fuck's this website gone? Have you ever seen this website? What the hell is this website?
All 55 goals can't be because of Onana.
No, but a lot of it is though. A lot of it is. Bro, why go out for this website, bro?
What
why
website?
Right at the top of the league.
Crashing out at his system.
Bro, no, real talk though. What's going on here though? Is this a new website?
Passionate war go out for this website.
What is it you're looking for, Saeed?
I'm trying to look at the in terms of like the Premier League last year, yeah, in terms of where everyone finished and the goals conceded. I don't think United were that bad in terms of the league standings. Like a lot of teams had so many goals conceded.
Last season, United conceded 54.
I'm trying to see what everyone else conceded.
So Brentford conceded 57, Brighton 59.
Man City conceded 44.
Newcastle, Liverpool conceded 41. Arsenal conceded
41. Yeah, so I mean, like we're not.
But you would have conceded more if you attacked more as well. You got.
But the thing is, yeah, this is what you've got to do though now in football. You can't just say I'm gonna just sit back because you're gonna concede anyway. Go for it, bro. Like as bad as Tottenham have been, they scored 64
goals. One of the highest goal scorers in the league last year, but at the same time, we had no defensive structure, so that we gave up way too much at the back because we conceded 65 goals and scored 64, which is the maddest ratio you could find.
Well, you only scored 44 goals last
season. I know, we only scored 44 goals.
I think you're like the third or fourth lowest goal scorer.
You scored less than you conceded.
You owe the Prem goals again, bro.
This is 3 seasons in a row. 3 seasons
I just living in his overdraft. Probably a uni, bro.
3 seasons in a row.
And you know what he said? He said, "No, our defense is okay to be fair." That's how he started. That's how he started.
You can max out your student loan, bro. Just wait for the new time.
Oh, that's terrible.
I swear down, bro. I remember people eating out of like soup cans and that. It was crazy, man, people. But you know what I will say though, yeah? The thing is, I get what you're trying to say, but bro, a lot of it right now, attack is still a big problem though. Like, and listen, for me, our problem is, and Fergie say attack is your best form of defense. Like, you have to attack first. I feel like the problem is with Amorim though, and the Europa League final proved that he should have went for it. Like for me, cool, you're gonna leave space behind, but you need to score more, go and attack more. And the problem with Amorim is his system is so like, you know what, we're gonna sit back first, and it's not about scoring. Hence why we haven't been able to score many goals. Let's be honest, we haven't been. We haven't been going back to back. If we go get a boom on Konya, that will provide a lot of, for me, attacking, like impetus. We need to have that more. Obviously, the striker, I don't know what's going on with that one. Midfield is still not really adjust.
Who do you want in midfield? Who do you want? So your back line is okay. You just need a new keeper. What do you want your midfield to be?
I'll be honest with you. The ones that I want are not attainable, bro. That's a.
But who do you want? Like realistic signings for midfield? Who are you looking at?
Realistic. I would love to Richard Rios from Palmeiras. I would love to go and get someone like that, midfield, if we can.
Good player, man.
The thing is, right now, they say Douglas Luiz, but on loan, would that be a bad thing? I'm not sure. But then again, I'm like, bro, how much damage has been caused at Juventus? Him not been playing for a year. Can he really switch on and get back into the swing?
So you would want. So your midfield 2 would be what? Rios and Fernandes.
Yes, if it was to be, yeah.
And then you go Cunha and Bremo, and who would your striker be? A realistic striker?
Striker, realistically, I would love to go and get a Mateta, but that's not going to happen. But it's one of Gyökeres, Ekitike, someone like that. You know what I mean? That could come in and maybe do a job. But
you got to stay away from a player like.
You got Xerxes as well if you need to.
I think Xerxes is a good player, but I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair balance of midfield and that. Where do you think you finish if you get the players that you want?
I think we should be aiming for top 6 this season. That should be the minimum requirement for United this season. I know it sounds crazy, but minimum required should be getting into at least some sort of European football. Some sort of European football.
Even I'm looking at my club and I'm saying the same thing. Like, if we don't get into top 6, manager gets sacked. I can't lie. Unless there's some
Well, yeah, Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham and United are both. That's the aim.
Yeah.
Well, if Thomas Frank don't get top 6, you want him sacked?
Unless there's some mad circumstance. Yeah, facts.
He finished 17th.
All right, D, we're not going to go back around in circles. We've already clarified that the squad is at 17th level. Quite clearly, you understand football to know that a manager can bring down a team a level. So I'm not going to judge Thomas Frank's Tottenham to the same level.
He's killing him.
I don't know if he's going. I don't know if
he's being serious or not. I don't know if he's being serious or not. Yeah, you're going to do this thing now. I know where D's going. He's going to try act like
you said it though. Anywhere. I'm saying you're saying top 6 or he gets sacked, and you're telling me I'm going mad.
I said that's my expectation. Yeah, I would sack him if you don't get top 6.
Yeah, but he's trying to raise the standards, man. He's trying to raise the standards.
That's not raising the standards. That's not raising the standards back to what they were.
Tottenham standards for the past 25 years have been if you don't get top 6, you get sacked. And now you're trying to tell me after one season I should change the standards.
Why stop at top 6? Why not win the league? Why are you stopping the top 6?
Not attainable.
But just like you don't sack your manager for not winning the league. So we wouldn't do the same.
Yo, geez, every team
has a certain minimum expectation. Our minimum expectation is top 6. Your minimum expectation is top 4. You accept top 4, and you're happy for top 4. You've been literally saying you don't want your manager sacked for finishing top 4.
What do you mean for top 4? What do you mean for top 4?
You can be happy with that. Don't try to tell me why I should sack my manager.
Calm down.
Manager for
calm down. Just calm down a little bit.
I need to calm down now. Yeah, it's calming down because now you're starting to be in a place where you don't feel comfortable.
No. I'm asking you a question. Let's ask questions to each other. There's no point you just having a monologue. I'm saying you're going from 17th to top 6, and you're saying that you think that's realistic. If you don't get top 6, you want Thomas Frank sacked. That's basically what you're saying.
For my whole life, as a Spurs fan, my minimum expectation, regardless of situation, my club is top 6. I don't change that for whatever. It's as simple as that. I don't need to change that.
So Saeed's minimum expectation.
That's a minimum expectation.
All right, cool. So are you saying you think that Saeed's minimum expectation should be Premier League then? Because that's what they're used to doing.
No, because for the past 12 years, that level has dropped. So he's realized that, yes, we can no longer maintain that. And now I would imagine for Saeed, it's the same as me. Minimum is top 6. That's not the expectation, but that's
Saeed's standards are higher than yours.
But again, we're talking about bare minimum. We're not talking about expectation. I've told you the bare minimum.
Let me ask what Cal thinks. Cal, is it just me that's someone's a bit more level-headed? Because maybe I'm going mad there. Let me ask Cal, come join the pot. Come join the pot because George is making it out like I'm saying crazy things. So
the only thing I disagree with is sacking. Sacking, I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree with that, George. What I will say, B, I think George is right. He has to aim for the top 6.
Yeah.
If you're called a big 6 team, it's because historically you finished in the top 6 more than you finished outside the top 6. So that should be the expectation, right? It's all interchangeable between the big 6 in where they finish. At one stage, Chelsea was seen as a team you got to chase. Now Chelsea happy with top 4, for example. Arsenal was seen as a team you chase in the early 2000s. Now you're happy with 2nd, for example. Liverpool weren't a team that was expected to win the league. Now we are expected to win the league. I think that top 6 or that big 6 is interchangeable, but ultimately that big 6 has to stay the same in terms of our mindset. Newcastle have broken into that, Aston Villa have broken into that, Forest are trying to break into it. I think, again, it might be wrong. George, what you're saying is historically you've been a big 6 team, therefore that's what you need to get back to. If you're bringing in a new manager with some players, that's what your expectation is, especially after winning a trophy. What I think, D, you're saying is because you finished so low last season that you can't be saying you'll sack the manager if you're finishing below 6. Because if you finish 7th or 8th, for example, it's a massive improvement on the season you just had. But at the same time, you can't get worse than the season Spurs have just had and stay in the Premier League, for example. So I think there's a middle ground there. I don't think you can sack Frank after one season, though, George. I think that'd be unfair. I think you have to give him at least a season, even if you finish outside the top
At least
six.
a season, yeah. At least a season.
Unless
there's some mad circumstances, then we can judge it away from if he's at mad injury.
I agree.
But, for me, it's just like if he plays the full season, has his full team available, then that should be he finished 8th or 9th with Brentford. So I'm looking at like with a better team, I expect you to points tally wise. I'm not even looking at like I'm looking at just points tallies and so on.
But
he should.
It's taken him a while to build that Brentford, George. He didn't do that in his first season with Brentford.
In his second year, he got 9th. In his second year, he got 9th. Because obviously the team's gone up and down depending on who's said and who's gone and so on. But I just think like again, like I'm going back to like I said, factory settings. My minimum expectations.
No, I agree.
Manager, that's why I'm just resetting myself.
Yeah. Adewale says United fans love a scapegoat. Onana wasn't good, but he isn't the only reason we're letting goals. Same way this man will praise Maguire while he's part of the defense. Let him 3 goals. Do you believe it's critical though? Just before we kind of move on, like and kind of wrap up. Is it critical that United get rid of Onana? Is it critical? Or do you think one more season?
From a rival standpoint, I'm going to be real. From a Liverpool standpoint, I need him in goal for United as long as possible, bro.
Adewale, there you go, bro. So, you know what I mean? There you go, man. So, Adewale, that's it. Rival fans are seeing that this guy's not good enough. So, that's all you need to know, bro. That's all you need to know. Paul Goss, online suggestions over Diaz's wage packet were robustly dismissed by Anfield insiders last year, and it's understood that the attacker earns around about 140,000 at Anfield.
That's not happening unless he's triggering every single bonus in his contract that
yeah. Players who have not shown anything special are sold earlier in January in book profits cause they are young. The best are kept like Caicedo, Palmer, etc. Yeah, I guess so. Big up Mr. Slotboss and big up the panel and the chat. Great show. Yeah, man, it has been a great show, man. I've been rolled you, man. Very, very lit show, man. Let's get these likes up as we I think we just passed 600 likes. 700 likes was a target. Let's reach that, people. By the time everyone shouts their channels out, we need everyone to really hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. I'll be back later on for Mandem Talk around about 5 o'clock. George, what you got coming up today, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm literally going to go live in a second. Talk some Tottenham transfer news. Some of the updates. Semenyo obviously signed a new contract, so looks like nothing's going to be going on with him on the move. And yeah, man, just some of that. So apart from that, just looking out for uploads, more stuff on other teams, you know. So not just Tottenham. So come over here for
other teams is hilarious.
I'm a football channel. I'm not a Tottenham channel. That's why I'm trying to make it clear to everyone. So just putting that out there. I'm a football channel, not just a Tottenham channel.
No, there you go. Absolutely. That's what we do as well, man. Big up to Callum as well, man. Let them know what you got coming up, man.
Yeah, so tomorrow I can't reveal who the guest is, but we should have a fun show regarding Liverpool football kits under the Nike era. Got another show probably live later on today, and then we'll have more shows throughout the week as well on Coppish. So big up. Yeah, big up to you. Yes, we are going to redirect to FamZone TV. Dean and D are going live now. All things football and life, man. Make sure you lock in. Big up Dean, man. Always. Yeah, man. Make sure you follow FamZone TV. Big up to everyone who's locked in. I'll be back, like I said to you, later on. And let's see if there's any transfer updates today, man. Because, bro, we need them ASAP. We need one of this.
Ahora sí va en serio. Ahora seguro. Tic-tac. 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 Empezamos.